All right, good luck to you. We can go out the record. Here's the thing. If you don't stop using, one or two things gonna happen. You're gonna spend the rest of your life in prison or somebody's gonna be identifying your body. You better make changes. You understand? All right, so what's our updates?
The update is disappointing. He has not been accepted to felony mental health court. I got that news a couple of days ago. I wasn't given a reason as to exactly why, but that was after staffing with the chief, that was the result that I was told. I agree with the frustration in trying to seek help for my client in the best possible way for the mental health issues. But at this point, I don't know if we've exhausted options or what the.
Well, I don't know. This is supposed to be Military City, USA, is it not? And this is how they treat people in the military. I don't understand why he wasn't accepted in Veterans Treatment Court when people were saying he was a good candidate for Veterans Treatment Court. And if we are going to move where the complainants are in charge of whether somebody gets into a program, then you should be putting complainants on the jury panel. I mean, there's a reason why complainants are not allowed to decide how cases are resolved because they will be deemed biased. And Lauren, I know you were not a part of this. It's some other higher powers.
I don't know the reasons either. But my client is, the facts are, they're facts and they're allegations at this point. And I think that, I don't know that those allegations are all taken as completely true against my client, which I don't believe is fair. And I don't know if that's what the mental health, if that's what their basis is on. I believe they're judging the nature of the crime and just assuming everything is true. And there is a lot more beyond the surface.
All right. Well, part of my understanding with it appears to be with treatment courts, at least some treatment courts, that if a complainant says they don't want them in a treatment court, they don't get to be in a treatment court.
Got it.
That's the way
More simple.
People are moving. So what's going to happen with this case?
So we are not, if we've exhausted all of the options for treatment courts for my client, we are prepared to file a motion to quash the indictment and set a hearing on that. The indictment does track the language of the statute. However, it does fail to state any sufficient facts or anything regarding the culpable mental state of knowingly in the case. And we'd like to file a motion to quash on that basis and set for hearing.
All right. So when will y'all be ready for a hearing on the motion to quash? Okay, so when are you going to?
I plan to file it today. And I mean, we could next week is fine with me. How about the 9th?
State, would you be prepared if they file the motion today? Would you waive notice and be prepared on the 9th, or do you need more time? Okay, so what we'll do then is Norma. Then that will be the end of April.
Okay.
Can you put it for the end of April? All right, so we'll hear it on April 30th.
Just a question. Does my client need to be here for the legal arguments, or
if there's no objection from the state, he can appear by Zoom.
Okay, thank you. We'll see you at the end of April.
All righty. So felony Veterans Treatment Court say they won't accept him.
We understood.
So this is set for PSI. Norma, I need a PSI and TAP evaluation. And a MIC evaluation. Vashon, how much time you need for PSI, TAP, and MIC? All right, I need an 8-week reset. August 28th?
May 28th.
All right, May 28th.
Okay. Okay, thank you, Joe.
You know, people with the same SID numbers and
Odyssey issues.
Oh, actually, I don't know if this is an Odyssey issue.
Say-
Is it human error, Deputy Laura? What is it?
Oh,
What I understand is the Odyssey is tagging people with the same names and stuff, so it
So-
might be a combination of both.
I had a person, real brief, County Court 2, he did a plea. And I didn't know this, but he was stuck in jail because they Odyssey tagged him as a person who had a similar name. He's stuck in jail for like 4 months and he never started probation. But they said he had a case from the 1990s, like major felonies, and he was illegal with the ICE hold. He's a US citizen.
Oh my gosh, that is so insane.
Yeah.
Well, we have someone here.
But
We have someone here who has 3 SID numbers,
that doesn't happen.
but they've merged them
Okay,
into one human being, I guess.
right.
Well, all right. So are you charged with unauthorized use of a vehicle?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Just have a seat in the box for a second for us. Okay. All right. So could I see the prosecutors for criminal trial division? And counsel, if nobody has the motion, I will do it, but I will tell you what you're gonna need is need a valid license from her identification card, address, name, date of birth, all of that. And what I'll do is I'll print out a document for you. And so these are all the things that you're gonna need to get from her and you need to file the motion.
To redo fingerprint, she'll do that.
Sometimes the FBI will do the fingerprints. Sometimes you can get the fingerprints at the police station. Excuse me, can I have that printout? Just 1 second.
I had one of these before, like where you share this, and I go, oh, with the same last name, the same date of birth, same person. $100,000 bond, and the dad bonded amount. And this is out of Dallas, and this was actually been talking to him about it. So he said, "So ready for trial?" I said, "Sort of." I said, "What do you mean?" I said, "Well, my guy's here, and my guy's not the gun. Some guy's out on bond, and we don't get on the thing for next for."
Oh.
And could I have that printout, please, too?
That's how you.
Oh, it still is more coming. Thing. Now, oh, State, could I see you all again? All right, so I have a motion at my home on this, right? From my older cases, but you could probably combine these 2 motions to make one. But what you want to do is you want the court, you want to have a hearing, and it's called a true identity motion. And you want to bring all the documentation that she is who she says she is. And usually they will do fingerprints. The state may want fingerprints. And then they can compare whatever fingerprints she has on file. And then they'll need to correct the SID numbers at the Bexar County Jail. And she would have to have her name corrected. So she's going to have to do some kind of birth certificate or something. And if she doesn't have a birth certificate at home, she can go online. I think it may have gone up, but getting a birth certificate is like $32 or something.
Final statistics.
Yeah. So she'll need to have all of that. And then, but that needs to be done as quickly as possible because otherwise it's going to show up that she has a warrant.
So I think they have 2 separate. She has that sent to her jail.
So can you?
And then who is this okay, then she needs an attorney.
Judge, Mr. Rodriguez, you know why you're here this morning, correct? We're asking the court to grant your application for probation, is that right?
Yes, sir.
Now, the court knows and you are aware that you previously had been given deferred adjudication, correct?
Yes, sir.
And those two deferreds had been revoked.
Yes, sir.
Please tell the court, Mr. Rodriguez, why this time your application and your desire to be in probation is different.
A long time ago. I didn't understand two things that I do now, and that's that time is short. Two of the most important people in my life passed away. One very recently. The audience right now is my mother and my sister. My mom doesn't depend on me so much, but she really needs my help. I had a lot of momentum going before I came here. I don't want to lose that momentum. I'm willing to take any number of years of probation, keep me out there, on the for so I can keep momentum that I have going. Because I'm 36 years old, I'm not getting any younger. The people that truly care about me are starting to fall off. And I know that I messed up twice some years ago. But it's like every year it's a little faster. And I don't have so much time with them. I'd like to do it out there.
Mr. Rodriguez, in reviewing the PSI, you are aware that should the court grant your application for probation, probation has recommended you do several outpatient treatment programs. Right, and it's my understanding that you've agreed to do those programs?
Absolutely.
Okay. You also asked the court that you'd be open to leaving on probation, a lengthy probation. You are aware that the maximum term that the judge could impose for probation is 10 years. Okay, and finally, also to make you aware that if court were to grant your application, any violation, however slight, would, make you place you under arrest and then bring you here for.
Absolutely.
Okay. You could be sentenced to prison. Okay. Now, as far as helping your mother and your sister who are here, tell the court a little bit more about why they need your help specifically.
So one of the people that passed away recently was my mom's mom. She stayed at home with my sister. She's autistic and epileptic. She has an intelligent maybe a 5-year-old. She's there by herself sometimes. When I was there, it was a lot different. Actually, right before I came here, it was New Year's Eve. Somebody set a firework off in the backyard, off the yard tunnel. And when I went downstairs to get some water, since we're looking out the window and all the smoke, just oblivious to what was really going on, had I not been there, would have been for the fire. Stuff like that scares me every day. There's a lot on my mother. She does a lot. I can't explain. I'm sure last time.
That is your mom's residence where you would reside should the court grant your application?
Probably not, but I will be there frequently to check up on them, make sure everything is okay. I think my sister will go with me there, but I wouldn't be for maybe 5 minutes.
Okay, but you already have a place to stay?
Yes.
Okay. In addition to your mom and your sister, is there anybody else who depends on you? Or any other family members that depend on you?
As a dependent, no, but as family, sure.
When you were revoked the first time for a possession case, do you remember why you were revoked?
28, and I didn't really care what was going on. That was whenever I lost the first person that I cared about.
On a single Thursday morning in San Antonio's 187th District Court, Judge Stephanie Boyd faced a question that doesn't have an easy answer. And she faced it twice, from completely different directions. First came Pierce Pearson, a veteran who had done everything he was supposed to do to get into a treatment program. The system said no, and the judge did not hide her frustration. she called out San Antonio as Military City, USA, and challenged on record whether complainants should have the power to block defendants from the very programs designed to help them. Then came Christian Clark, another veteran, same docket, same rejection. And earlier in the morning, a woman named Jade sat in a courtroom box because a software system had attached someone else's entire criminal record to her identity. She had a warrant on record that wasn't hers. The judge had to carefully reconstruct her true identity from scratch. And then there was Austin Rodriguez. He had been given deferred adjudication not once, but twice. Both revoked. He came before the court again, this time with drugs in his pocket and a firearm in his center console. And he took the stand and spoke about his mother and his autistic sister and all the people who needed him home. The judge listened to every word, and then she denied probation, named every decision he'd made that led to that moment, and warned him that if he returned, he faced a minimum of 25 years as a habitual offender. Same courtroom, same morning. One man the system failed. One man who had used up the system's patience. Both of those things can be true at the same time. That's what real justice looks like from inside a courtroom. If you found this case as eye-opening as we did, hit that like button, drop your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe for more real courtroom breakdowns, because justice never gets old.